There's something wrong with the iPhone 14 Pro and it's bothering me a lot. How is their best feature underperforming so hard like it's driving me nuts? But let's stay calm. And as I promised in our last video, this video will be featuring the iPhone 14 Pro with its new and upgraded cameras. Its opponent will be the widely marketed and popular Xiaomi 12S Ultra with a beautiful camera bump design and the biggest sensor ever to be placed in a smartphone. Will the Leica and Sony cooperation pay off for Xiaomi, or will Apple rely on its powerful software once again? This video is sponsored by Casetify, a maker of very sustainable and protective phone cases. Stay tuned for an exciting demonstration later on in the video. Let the facts speak. I'm assuming I don't need to tell you that we're going to be starting off with photos. It's something that, on paper, the Xiaomi 12S Ultra should be better at, but that's rarely how it ends up in our comparisons. Just like in our previous video, we went with the Leica Vibrant mode once again because the authentic mode has little color in our opinion. I will admit that I have a love and hate relationship with this camera, but I will also tell you to keep an eye out for the consistency of the iPhone. Some photos like this one I just really appreciate because it looks so nice, especially with the support of the Leica Vibrant mode. On the flip side, photos like this one are inconsistent all around. No matter how much I love the shallow depth of field that keeps me in focus and also blurs the background on the 12S Ultra, the overall complexion of the photo is too bright, which in turn comes with some loss of detail. I like both of the shots in this one, though the one I'm choosing for my Instagram is the one on the right. Not only do you have that nice, natural blur in the background, thanks to the Sony IMX9891 1-inch sensor, the vibrant colors on the right help bring out the subject a bit more, whereas it's hard to differentiate the colors of my clothing on the iPhone. On the contrary, Apple's consistent software does show up time and time again when you need it to, which is the main reason they will take the point for the photo category. There are times when I look at the photos taken by the 12S Ultra and instantly get hyped to put them on Instagram. I would go as far as to say that, in my opinion, this phone has the highest peak of them all. But from what I've read and researched, I've learned that most people prefer consistency to a higher peak. It's impossible not to appreciate the incredible photos that the Xiaomi 12S Ultra gives us. I just wish it happened more often, so don't be surprised if you see me begging later on for software updates. The performance of the ultra-wide camera is all around equal between these two, as in this instance, we were not able to spot any issues that downgraded the quality of the footage. Photos on the right are more vibrant, while the ones on the left are a bit more natural. So, the iPhone has started off with a slight lead, and I just want to apologize to Xiaomi fans, as the first photo is the gold standard for portrait photography. Apple is just so good at this that it's honestly annoying. I don't know what Xiaomi's playing at here because I work out 3 to 4 days a week, but in this photo, I look like I eat 3 to 4 burgers a week. Nevertheless, the main problem is just that the quality of the software, which isn't at the level it needs to be, if you haven't realized that yet, it's kind of similar to the photo category that I definitely do appreciate some results produced by the 12S Ultra, like this one. Granted, it is a bit of a different angle, but it looks super cool and Instagrammy. You feel me? Some white balance adjustments, a bit of attention given to consistency, and other general quality of use fixes would make this phone's portrait mode feature stick out more. But even then, it's never gonna be easy to reach the standard of iPhones for portrait photos. And now it's demonstration time. Drop test incoming with these beautiful but very robust cases produced by Casetify. Let's go outside. Alright guys, so we got the iPhone 14 Pro over here in this magnificently beautiful, but at the same time, very robust case. But just before I throw it, I want to show you that it's actually a real and functioning phone first, just so you don't think that we're pulling any tricks. Alright guys, here goes nothing.
That sound was insane.
Is it fine? Wow. There's actually nothing wrong with the screen at all. Everything looks to be in order, as there's not even a single scratch on the phone. That's actually quite impressive, considering how hard it fell. But yeah, all is good, and this actually makes me happy. Well, that was quite a bit of adrenaline, but I put my trust in these cases, and so should you. They have a wide variety of different designs and styles, and are specifically made for protection against any kind of terrain with their EcoShock technology that absorbs the impact to keep the phone safe. MagSafe compatibility is another bonus, and the Ultra Impact case can handle drops from up to 11.5 feet, which translates to 3.5 meters. Check out their premium cases from the link below right before we get back to our camera comparison. Video is next on the list, and iPhones always shoot the best videos. Unless we're talking about the iPhone 14 Pro. That sounds really weird even though I'm the one who wrote the script, but anyway, my first question is, why is the footage this dark when iPhones are known to have bright footage with very, very good detail? My second question is, how does the 12S Ultra preserve the detail that somehow the 14 Pro can't? If my memory isn't failing me, I'm pretty sure Apple phones perform better in general, so I don't know what I'm supposed to say right now other than asking, Apple, what did you do? Xiaomi isn't necessarily a leading brand in videos, but they do have interestingly consistent results, along with a not so great 8K video mode, but it's still there and you can use it. Just make sure to set the phone somewhere because, 8K and stabilization is hard to come by. But anyways, I can't believe I'm saying this, but at least in this instance, the Xiaomi 12S Ultra took better videos than the iPhone 14 Pro. And that's really scary. It could have gotten even scarier if Apple hadn't added an active stabilization mode to their newest flagship, because Xiaomi's latest flagship over here actually won the stabilization category in our previous video against the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, and you know that they have super stable. Even then, when Apple really wants something, they often end up getting it, and it's still insane to me how their stabilization videos are in 2.8K resolution. And it would be a shame not to respect that. One thing that I do have trouble respecting though is why the majority of Chinese brands opt to never give us a great front camera. I've got plenty of Asian friends who tell me that selfie culture is quite big on the other side of the world. And when you look at the front cameras of the phones, besides Samsung of course, you'll almost always see mediocre quality and a maximum of 1080p video. The difference is just huge here, and Apple will take one more point around the same time we're stepping into the zoom section. Xiaomi isn't Samsung, but it could very well be. Like, that's how good the quality of the zoom of their Ultra phones are. Even with an optical zoom present on the iPhone, the 12S Ultra's colors are overall more appealing to me, and it's good to mention that the device can do 120 times zoom while the iPhone is still capped at 15. When you spell zoom backwards, you get macro in some language that hasn't really been invented yet, but regardless of whatever language you speak, iPhone trumps almost everything when it comes to macro. Is pretty universal, combined with the fact that Xiaomi hasn't really put an effort into their macro software. There's an activatable macro mode, which actually works worse than the automatic one, so I don't get it. But at the same time, I'm not really gonna try to, because why would I bother when instead I can watch these nuts falling from the sky? 3840 FPS is the maximum on the 12S Ultra, while Apple likes to put a cap of 240 on pretty much everything, ensuring that there really isn't a contest here, just like autofocus. I don't see any errors, nor do I see any lag or inconsistency of any sort. All I see is me jumping up and down, which is what I'm supposed to see, as this category will also end in a tie. And you know what time it is. Time for another audio test, but this time in the shade, because today is actually extremely sunny and I'm having trouble walking out here in this hot weather. Over here we have the star of one of our last videos, the Xiaomi 12S Ultra and its mic quality. And we're gonna be seeing how it measures up against our new gem, the iPhone 14 Pro. There are very minor differences between the mic quality of these two phones. I think that the Xiaomi 12S Ultra just barely edges it out because my voice is smoother and just a bit less aggressive on the ears. This is pretty subjective though, so take it with a grain of salt and turn the lights off because you're about to witness the 1-inch sensor of the 12S Ultra work its magic at night. Because if something is scarce, that thing is definitely light. The third photo is a great example of why Xiaomi is currently unbeaten in this category. The fourth photo kind of solidifies it, as all you need to do is enjoy the accurate white balance as well as the shallow depth of field, giving the photo a very nice look. There's nothing to decide here really, as Xiaomi has outperformed Apple so hard at night that even though neither phone's ultra-wide camera performed here, it just doesn't really matter in any way. The first video is better on Apple's side though, but the second video is pretty much in the middle, and I definitely don't think the difference is as big as the one in photos, which is why Xiaomi will take the last section before the closing credits. A well-fought battle in which both phones impressed us in some categories, but unfortunately also disappointed us from time to time. Nevertheless, both of them are quite new in the scene, and I doubt that either company will let these phones stay at the level that they are. Thank you for staying with us and our very detailed camera comparisons, so hit those like and sub buttons so that you can continue staying with us in the future. See you in the next video.